What if we told you that our world is on the brink of disaster? That the very fabric of our society is about to crumble and there's nothing we can do to stop it? Elon Musk, the world-renowned tech entrepreneur and billionaire, has a message for us all. A message that's so urgent and terrifying it can't be ignored. According to Musk, the world's population is rapidly reaching a tipping point. With resources stretched thin and the effects of climate change becoming more and more pronounced, the human race is in danger of collapsing under its own weight. But what can we do to prevent a global population collapse? In this video, we break down Elon Musk's warning and the shocking truth about the state of our world, and what he believes has to be done to save it. Are you prepared to face the terrifying reality? Let's start. Elon Musk is known for his ambitious projects, from colonizing Mars to revolutionizing transportation with electric cars. However, in recent years, he's also spoken about a more pressing concern: the looming threat of population collapse around the world. In a series of interviews and social media posts, Musk has warned of the terrifying truth that we may soon face if we don't take action to address this issue. First, it's important to understand what population collapse means. Essentially, it refers to a situation where a country's population declines to such an extent that it can no longer sustain its economy, infrastructure, or social welfare systems. This can occur due to a variety of factors, such as declining birth rates, aging populations, and immigration. When this happens, it can lead to a host of problems, including a shortage of workers, a lack of economic growth, and increased strain on healthcare systems. That's why Elon Musk wants people to be concerned about having more children. We should be much more worried about population collapse, Musk wrote in a tweet. In his tweet, he wrote, "UN projections are utter nonsense. Just multiply last year's births by life expectancy. Given the downward trend in birth rate, that is the best case unless reversed." While also quoting the birth rate in Japan, he said, "Last year, Japan had 800,000 births and life expectancy is 85 years, impressively high," implying a future population of only 68 million, dropping almost half from the current population of 126 million. That's a lot of ghost towns and cities. In a 2017 interview with the Wall Street Journal, Elon Musk warned that declining birth rates and aging populations could pose a major problem for his plans to establish a human colony on Mars. Musk stated, "One of the biggest issues in demographics is the aging of the population. What the hell? We're going to Mars. It's going to need people. There will be fewer and fewer people that want to go to Mars, who are able to go to Mars. We have to fix the population." Musk's comments highlight the fact that the population decline is not just a concern for our planet, but could also impact our ability to explore and colonize other worlds. According to Musk, population collapse is not just a theoretical possibility, but a very real threat that we may soon face. In a 2019 interview with popular podcast host Joe Rogan, Musk noted that many countries, including Japan and Italy, are already experiencing declining birth rates, and that the United States is not far behind. He warned that if this trend continues, it could have catastrophic consequences for the global economy and social stability. Musk isn't alone in his concerns. In fact, population decline has been a topic of discussion among economists and policymakers for years. In 2015, the United Nations predicted that the world's population would peak at around 11 billion by 2100, and then begin to decline. While this may seem like a positive development in some respects, as it could alleviate the strain on natural resources, it also presents significant challenges, particularly for countries that are heavily reliant on a young workforce to fuel economic growth. One of the main drivers of population decline is declining birth rates. In many countries, including the United States, Japan, and much of Europe, the birth rate has fallen below the replacement level of 2.1 children per woman. This means that each new generation is smaller than the one that came before it, which can have a ripple effect on everything from labor markets to housing prices. Why are birth rates declining? There are several factors at play. One is the increasing cost of raising a child, particularly in developed countries where education and healthcare costs are high. Another is the changing role of women in society, as more and more women are choosing to pursue careers rather than start families. Finally, there's the simple fact that people are living longer, which means that there are more older people who are no longer able or interested in having children. While declining birth rates may seem like a natural and even positive development in some respects, it can have negative consequences if not managed properly. For example, it can lead to labor shortages and increased competition for workers, which can drive up wages and make it more difficult for businesses to grow. It can also put strain on social welfare systems such as pensions and healthcare, which rely on a steady influx of young workers to support older ones. So what can be done to address population collapse? There's no simple answer, but many experts believe that a combination of policies and incentives may be necessary. For example, some countries have implemented policies to encourage families to have more children, such as having tax breaks and subsidies for childcare. Others have implemented immigration policies to bring in younger workers from other countries. Musk has also suggested that we need to focus on developing new technologies and systems that can help us become more efficient and sustainable. For example, he's advocated for the development of renewable energy and electric transportation systems, which could help reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and decrease our carbon footprint. Ultimately, addressing population collapse will require a multifaceted approach that takes into account a range of economic, social, and environmental factors. In addition to encouraging higher birth rates and immigration, governments and businesses can invest in education and training programs to help workers adapt to changing job markets and stay competitive in a rapidly evolving economy. They can also explore new models of healthcare and social welfare that are more flexible and adaptable to changing demographics. At the same time, individuals can play a role in addressing population collapse by making conscious choices about family planning and lifestyle. By choosing to have fewer children or adopting more sustainable lifestyles, we can help to reduce our impact on the environment and make our societies more resilient in the face of demographic change. It's important to add that the issue of population collapse isn't limited to developing countries. In fact, many developing countries are also facing declining birth rates and aging populations, which can exacerbate issues like poverty, food insecurity, and political instability. Addressing these issues will require a concerted global effort, one that involves cooperation between governments, businesses, and individuals from around the world. Low birth rates have significant impacts on societies and economies, and one of the most significant is aging population. When birth rates are low, there are fewer young people being born who can replace older individuals as they age and retire. This leads to a demographic imbalance with more people over the age of 65 and fewer people under the age of 25. As a result, the elderly population becomes a larger proportion of the total population, and this constrains social welfare systems and healthcare systems. As the population ages, there's a greater demand for healthcare services and social welfare programs that support the elderly. This can place a strain on government budgets, and the quality and availability of these services may suffer. Governments may have to raise taxes or make cuts to other programs to provide the necessary support for an aging population. Furthermore, there may be fewer young people available to care for the elderly, leading to increased demand for paid caregivers. Low birth rates can also have an impact on the workforce. With fewer young people entering the workforce, there may be labor shortages in certain industries and sectors. This can lead to decreased economic growth and productivity, as well as increased competition for skilled labor. Some countries may respond to this by increasing immigration, but this can also lead to social and political tensions. On an individual level, low birth rates can impact family structures and lifestyles. With fewer children being born, families may have fewer siblings and smaller extended families. This can lead to changes in social dynamics, as well as an increased pressure on parents to provide for their children's education and well-being. Some individuals may choose to delay starting families or not have children at all, which can impact their career trajectories and financial stability. However, low birth rates can also have positive impacts. For example, it can lead to reduced strain on the environment, as fewer people means less demand for natural resources and less pollution. Additionally, low birth rates can result in more opportunities for women to pursue education and careers, as they may have fewer family responsibilities. Overall, low birth rates have complex and far-reaching impacts. For Musk and other advocates of space exploration, these demographic trends could pose a serious problem for the future of human spaceflight. If there aren't enough people willing and able to make the journey to Mars or other planets, it could be difficult to establish sustainable colonies or conduct long-term research. To address this challenge, Musk has suggested a range of solutions, from incentives for larger families to increased investment in education and training programs. He's also suggested that the allure of space exploration itself could be a motivating factor for some people, and that the development of new technologies and industries could create new opportunities and jobs. In the end, Elon Musk's warnings about population collapse should serve as a wake-up call for all of us. While the issue may seem distant or abstract, the truth is that it's a very real and pressing concern that we need to start addressing now. By taking action to address declining birth rates, aging populations, and other demographic challenges, we can help to create a more sustainable and prosperous future for ourselves and generations to come. That pretty much wraps this video up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. So what are your thoughts about Elon Musk's opinions on the declining population? Share with us your comments below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel with a bell notification if you enjoy watching our content. We upload some awesome stuff here which you'll definitely enjoy, so make sure to hit the like on this video and leave a comment below. See you guys in the next one.